marami siyang input, marami siyang bagong facts na never niya nabanggit kay Senator Risa Ontiveros. Especially the auntie, the rich auntie. Okay, bakit ito napili natin? Kasi ang dami talagang mga inconsistencies dun sa mga naging sagot ni Attorney Harry Roque, okey? Umpisahan natin dito ha, umpisahan ko lang 'to dito. Ayaw. Oops, ayaw pumasok, ba't ayaw? For a while, ba't ayaw pumasok 'to? Wala ako? Okay. Tandaan natin dito mga ka-UB, dinis kasi 'to kahapon kaya lang kailangan kong pakita ulit ito sa'yo. Okay, noong 2014 ang sabi, 'di ba, naipakita 'to ni Congress, woman, Jinky, na ang dati niyang pera is 125,000 lang. Kumbaga yung assets ng Biancham. Okay? Okay ba? Okay na kayo sa ano? So, ngayon, pinakita niya, lumago ito ng 3,000,000, nadagdagan ng 3,000,000. So, ang tingin kong hindi dito na topic is saan nanggaling yung 3,000,000? Ano ang naging transaksyon ng Biancham para magkaroon ng 3,000,000 noong 2015? Siguro kaya hindi ito masyadong tinake up kasi at that time hindi pa naman siya public official. That's 2015 kasi, 'di ba? Pero lumago ito, 'di ba, from 3,000,000, ayan. Kaya siguro dito tinake up na ito kasi noong 2018 naging 67,000,000 na siya, 'di ba? Pero still, 'di ba, dapat malaman din natin paano ba na-acquire yung 3,000,000? Bakit biglang lumago? So ano ba ang mga activities nung Biancham at that time? For 1 year, from 2014 to 2015, ano ang kanilang activities? Now, nung 67, 'di ba sinabi niya nabenta nila yung lupa na 1.8 hectares dito sa Parañaque. Okay? Pero nabenta daw nila ito, parang ang share yata niya is mga 67 million pesos. Kaya yan naiano. So, pero ang pinagtataka dito ni Congresswoman Jinky, bakit hindi mo na-declare sa SALN mo yung buong 67 million, 'di ba? 60 million lang daw. So tingin ko, ang pwede magpaliwanag dito kung hindi masyadong kabisado ito ni Attorney Harry Roque, dapat yung accountant niya. Kasi baka may mga ginastos ito based on sa tax, 'di ba? Kung ano mang liabilities ang pwede kaya hindi na ipasok do'n sa kanyang SALN yung buong 67 million. So yun yun. Pero siyempre sa atin, baka puwede nang lusutan 'yan kung may accountant siya. Pero kasi ito ang nangyari ha. Okay, simulan natin 'to. Okay? For a while. Eto, transfer of assets. So, dito mga ka-clear, sinabi na ni Attorney Harry Roque na yung shares niya, 'di ba, doon sa Biancham ay, nailipat na daw kay Percival Ortega. Okay, very clear 'yan. Kumbaga 99% ay nailipat kay Percival Ortega. Okay, ito 'yun ha, pakita ko muna sa inyo 'to para mas maliwanag ha. 'Yan, pansinin niyo ito. Ito ha, very clear 'to, mamaya babalikan natin 'to. 2014, halos, 99% kasi very minimal nga lang 'to, eh, yung, kila Attorney Joel Butuyan, Attorney Charmaine Garcia and Eileen Garcia, ano lang sila, qualifying, 'di ba, shareholder para lang mapuno yung 5 na incorporators. So, nominal sila. So, talagang may-ari nitong Biancham ay ang mag-asawang Roque, si Attorney Harry Roque at saka si Myla. Okay, noong 2018, ano na siya dito, spokes na siya. Saka noong 2016 naging congressman siya, Sinipa lang siya ng Kabayan Party List kasi ang sasama ng mga sinabi niya sa hearing kay Senator Leila de Lima at that time. So talagang chinugi siya, sinipa siya. Pero kinupkup siya noon ni dating Pangulong Duterte para maging spokesperson. Kaya tinanggap niya na siya isipain. Actually, inaano niya pa yun, inaapilan niya pa yun. Inaapilan niya pa yun na wag siya matanggal sa pagiging congressman. Representative. Kumbaga siya yung representative nung Kabayan Party List. Okay? Na siya ngayon, party list ni inaanak, no, ni Congressman, Representative Salo. Yun, doon din si Salo sa Kabayan Party List. Okay, so 2018, nagkaroon ng subsidiary corporation. Ang tawag dyan yung PH. Bakit PH? Ito daw kasi yung address doon sa Tuba, Benguet. Okay? So, okay, inilipat nila, kumbaga, okay, nagkaroon sila ng PH na subsidiary, PH2, okay? Pero ang nagmamay-ari ng PH2, 95% Biancham pa rin, ha? So, isipin natin na ang Biancham pag-aari na mag-asawa, ha? Ni Harry Roque at saka ni Myla. So, sila pa rin yung may-ari ng PH2. Di ba? 95%. At si Atty. Harry Roque, 1%. Di ba? Kahit sabihin mo na minimal na lang si Atty. Harry Roque na 1%, still sila pa rin nagmamay-ari ng Biancham Trading. Di ba? Okay. Ngayon, noong 2020, itong Biancham, nandun pa rin, di ba? Nandun pa rin, 98%, biglang lumipat. Di ba dati from 49.96 to 49.96. Ito yata yung inayawan niya na. Di ba? Dahil nagkakaroon na ng interest itong si Atty. Harry Roque sa First Bataan. At hindi ko matandaan kung kailan nagkaroon ng news tungkol dito. Tingnan nga natin. Wait lang ha. Balik natin yan. Tingnan ko lang yung news dito ha. Share nga natin. Saan? To. Tingnan ko lang kung anong taon. Kung meron itong taon. Oo nga. 2020 rin. Ito yung naging yung nagkaroon ng issue, yung sa bilyonaryo. Actually, sa bilyonaryo to kinuha eh. Okay? Sa bilyonaryo to kinuha. Okay? So, dito, nagkaroon ng issue, di umano, na nagbabalak na nga itong si Atty. Harry Roque na makipag-partnership, nagkaroon ng partnership doon sa Mariveles, Bataan. Okay? Kaya nagkaroon ng First Bataan Mariveles Holdings Corporation. At parang dito, nagkaroon ng issue tungkol sa mga assets at mukhang kikita ng bilyones itong si Atty. Harry Roque. At sabi niya, di ba parang inayawan na ni Mrs. na mapasama sa korporasyon. Okay? Kaya siguro lumiit na yung shares ni Mrs. doon sa Biancham at mas lumaki na yung kay Atty. Harry Roque. Pero, tingnan natin dito sa news na to ha. Ayan, First Bataan Mariveles Holdings Corporation is a 50-50 partnership between a little-known property firms, Biancham Holdings, pag-aari nila Atty. Harry Roque, and Green Miles Realty Corporation. Ito yung pag-aari ng isa, ano apelido nun? Corcel, something? Ha? Corrales, na kaibigan din matalik ni Atty. Harry Roque. Sila yata yung mag-share, okay, para itaguyod itong Mariveles. Pero mga kaklira, para may issue yung mga lupa dito na nakuha ng First Bataan ha. So wala pa tayong update pero parang may mga cases daw yata. Di umano na land grab, di umano ha. Okay? Kaya lumaki yung shares ng lupa dito. Okay. So dito, ito tandaan nyo ha. Ito ang nakikita ko kasi. Inamin naman niya na itong property na to sa Bataan ay ina-apply niya para sa AFAB. Yung AFAB kasi, ang patungkol dito, yung para magkaroon ng BPO. Okay, so may plano sila dyan. Ayan Okay, ayan, sabi dito, First Bataan has already purchased 290 hectares and is negotiating to buy another 131 hectares. So ang tanong natin, gaano kalaki yung pera ni Atty. Harry Roque at that time kung ang Biancham ay 67 million lang ang assets. 'Di ba? At ito ay balak gawin. Ito, the township will have a yacht club, beach resort, the typical, typical Pogo style. Although hindi ko sinasabing Pogo, kasi sabi niya BPO lang eh. Retirement village, industrial park, warehouses, condos, housing, and hub for business, process outsourcing firms, and Chinese-owned Philippine offshore gaming operators. Diba? So yun. So the firm plans to initially pump in 178 million in cash into the project. So, natatandaan niyo ba, mga ka-clear? Nung una niya nakilala daw yung isa sa may-ari ng Whirlwind, diba inalok niya na to? Inalok niya ito, kinausap niya, kaya niya nakilala yung Whirlwind, kaya niya nakausap si Cassandra, inaalok niya para doon sa solar. Okay? Para sa solar. Pero sa totoo lang, ang tanong natin, kasi di ba pag solar, ang mag-a-apply ka para mula sa Department of Energy. Pero ang pinuntahan niya, na inamin niya, nag-a-apply sila for the AFAB. Ba, ito yung authority na tingnan natin ha. Okay, share natin din. Share natin. Okay? Yung AFAB kasi ay patungkol to sa pag-a-apply para sa BPO. Okay? Pag-apply para sa BPO. Oo, BPO ang tina-target nito. Yung teka lang for a while, tingnan ko lang ang main meaning nito. Okay. So, authority of the Freeport area of Bataan. So, meron na siya dito, meron na siya lang application dito. So, in other words, tina-target nila talaga magkaroon ng BPO. Kasi tinan mo yung, yung setup, yun yung balak nilang paggawa dito. Okay? Now, okay. So, ang tanong natin, saan sila kukuha ng pera? Di ba sabi nga, andalas niya, di ba? Andalas siya makipag-usap doon sa Cassandra, kasi para mauuhan sila doon sa project nila doon sa Bataan. Sa tandaan natin, madalas talaga siya. Di ba doon pa nga nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, di ba? Una siyang hindi pala, Boracay pala yun. Pero meron siya sa mga Bataan. Madalas siya doon. Na-invite talaga siya doon. Oo, sa Subic. Di ba? Nagpunta rin siya sa Subic eh. Nag-swimming pa siya doon. So, itong tanong natin, di ba? Saan ka kukuha ng pera kung sinabi mo na yung assets mo sa Biancham ay na-transfer mo through trust agreement. Okay? Panoorin nga natin to kasi kailangan natin to mapanood eh. Pero sandali lang to ha. Screen share. Okay.
Representation, Mr. Chair, wish to manifest that we are establishing the amount contained in the audited financial statement, which has disparity to the amount that was disclosed as represented by the resource speaker in his SAL-N for 2018. Mr. Chair, if I may continue, for the information of the Filipino people, I wish to share Section 8, Republic Act number 6713. This is the Code of Conduct of Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. It states that the public
Chairman, perhaps.
For a while.
Section 7 of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, Mr. Chair, so moved.
Please, Attorney Roque, submit your SAL-N since 2016 to 2022.
Your Honors, may I manifest that I will do even more than that. I have asked the House of Representatives to submit my SAL-N even when I was working as a working law student in this honorable chamber.
Mr. Chair, may we direct our resource
way back, Your
speaker
Honor,
to
1988.
just answer
I'm
the
preparing
question?
everything on my SAL-N.
Mr.
Your
Chairman,
Honor.
Attorney Roque,
Mr.
please
Chairman.
answer the question of.
I will comply, Your Honor, and will
Okay.
even now, if that investment, bulk of the cash that we used belonged to an old maid aunt who was living with me, who was also my ward. It was with her consent, although I was officially appointed her guardian, because she believed that when we sold the 1.8 hectares in Parañaque, we should buy land elsewhere because that is what my grandfather specifically instructed her. So bulk of what we used to purchase the land in Bataan came from my aunt, her share in the sale of the 1.8 hectares in Parañaque, whereas my siblings and I invested our proceeds from our share from our mother's side in the same project. Now, at that time, we had to reflect more or less the true ownership of the property because my aunt would want that already. No? So what we did was we hired one of my friends, one of my lawyer friends who knew everyone, who knew my aunt, who was a retired judge, who knew my brothers and sisters, who knew me, to act as trustee because we were in the process of allocating the correct amount of shares for everyone. Because what happened was when the Parañaque sale happened, two of my siblings did not join us in the investment. So we had to reflect, we have to put it first in the name of a lawyer in trust as we arrange eventually how the property will be divided amongst us. No? Unfortunately, my aunt has since died and we are now in the process of settling her estate. And so Attorney Ortega stands as trustee representing the estate of my aunt. And that is why there had to be a reorganization which will also have to await final resolution upon approval of my aunt's estate, which is actually judicial because my aunt left a will.
Naku, sorry. Okay, bakit kailangan natin malaman kung trustee ba o hindi? Okay? Kasi, una, tinanong siya dito, nasaan ang papel? Nasaan ang dokumento na trustee itong si Percival Ortega? We're talking here of Biancham. Biancham is technically also the owner of the house in Tuba Benguet because PH2 yun. Yung PH2, sinabi natin, pinakita natin, 98% noon ay pag-aari ng Biancham. Kasi subsidiary ang PH2. Parent company or holding company, itong si Biancham. At later, noong 2020, di ba, okay, ito, nasa na yan? Okay. Noong 2020, ang nangyari, ito. Okay? Noong 2020, mapapansin nyo, si Percival S. Ortega na ang may halos-ari ng Biancham. Okay? At yan din ang sinabi niya dito.
At matapos naman marinig ang testimonya ni...
You also, nung nagsalita kayo kanina, you also referred to it as bahay ko.
Well, I do not deny po na I have an interest in the corporation. Hindi ko po dinideny yun. In fact,
Aling corporation po iyan?
ang pangalan po ata is PH2, hindi ko maalala, no?
PH2.
PH2.
Pambihira, nakalimutan niya na talaga, di ba?
Pero wait a minute. Dapat maalala nyo po.
Well,
you intend to
mahaba po yung pangalan.
procure 100% ownership
Anyway,
of it.
maya-maya po,
PH2.
darating po
What
yung...
does PH2 stand for
Well,
po?
ano po yan eh, that's the location of the address of the house. Okay, anyway, maya-maya
PH2,
po...
why? What's the whole address po
parang
of the
phase
house?
2, black number, gano'n.
Okay,
no?
phase 2.
Pero maya-maya po, nagpakuha ko ng contract of lease para ipakita rito sa komite na ito, no? Na,
And sa ngayon po, kayo ang majority shareholder ng PH2.
sa ngayon po, hindi.
Hindi.
Ayan,
Pero,
Anong
Yan.
percentage po ng
ang-
ownership nyo?
Ay, nako, nominal lang po ako
Nominal
ngayon. no?
lang.
Nominal.
10%, 20%?
Well, ngayon po, lumalabas, ano lang ako, nag-subscribe lang po ako when it was incorporated, no?
At sino po yung majority shareholder sa
Ang majority is another corporation
PH2?
po. Another
What is that
corporation.
other corporation?
It's Biancham Holdings po.
Ano pong pangalan?
Biancham Holdings.
Biancham
Holdings.
Holding. B-I-A-N.
CHAM.
Bianchan Holdings.
Yes, yes.
Ganong kalaki yung majority?
Lahat po yan
Sold.
sa Biancham Holdings.
Pero minority,
wholly owned.
nominal kayo.
Nominal.
Wholly.
Oo, wholly owned po yan by
Bianchan
Biancham.
Holdings. Sino pong incorporators ng Bianchan Holdings?
Attorney Percival Ortega po at yun po naalala ko si Attorney Percival Ortega. I think meron din pong attorney.
Okay. So, pakinggan nyo ha. Sinabi niya na ang majority shareholder na si Percival Ortega. With this, ito yung unang-unang hearing eh. Never siyang nagbanggit tungkol sa trust agreement. Remember? Wala siyang binanggit. Bakit all of a sudden, nung tinatanong na siya, bakit napunta kay Percival Ortega? Kasi nagpasalin-salin na eh. Bakit niya naisip ngayon yung trust agreement? Okay? Ang trust agreement, dapat yan may pirmahan. Di ba? So, nung tinatanong siya, nasaan ang papel ng trust agreement? Okay? Ito yata yung sagot niya ha. Okay, share natin ulit. Share natin ulit. Oops, sorry. Share. Share natin yung nangyari sa hearing.
Mr. Chair, I wish to invite the attention of
Hmm.
wish to rule out, to verify. Ito po bang mga movement ng pera na ito? After all, he is the one who mentioned na hindi ito galing sa Pogo. Let the Quad verify kung saan nga nanggaling ang mga perang ito, Mr. Chair.
Wait lang, wala yung trust agreement. Ay, wala pa. Wait lang, naputol.
Sino nga ba si Emma?
Ay.
Tara, pag-usapan natin. Kaya ko pa ba? Guys, no joke.
Commercial. Okay, mamaya na yan. Sige, teka lang. Baka tayo maano dito. Biglang pumasok. Okay, so doon lumalabas kasi. Okay, lumalabas dito na pinasok niya. Trust agreement. Pero di ba ang sabi niya, wala na papel kasi family affair to. Verbal lang, kumaga by word lang. Diba? Then all of a sudden, sinabi niya na hindi dapat pakialaman kasi may privacy na sinasakop dito. Kung tatanungin niyo pa yan, family affair ito. Pero ngayon, parang sinabi niya na mayroong trust agreement, dadalhin niya. So, pero ano ba yung trust agreement? Okay, puntahan nga natin to. Para malaman nyo kung bakit may trust agreement. Okay. Okay, ayan. So, pag sinabi natin trust agreement, di ba? Okay. Ito ay patungkol sa, ayan. Saan na ba siya? Ayan. Okay. Trust agreement is a legal document that creates one or more trust. The basic parties to a trust agreement are the grantor and the trustee. The grantor is the person who creates the trust agreement. The trustee is the person or entity who manages and distributes the assets in the trust. So pakinggan nyo ha, manages. Pero bakit natin madidebunk yung sinasabing may trust agreement sila? Okay? Dahil kung totoo na ang trust agreement ay yung tao na ang magmamanage, kasi yun ang sabi niya eh. Tandaan nyo, sino ang lumalabas na mayroong, kung sino yung pumirma sa contract of lease dito sa Chinese na si Wan Yun. Diba? Si Wan Yun. Ay, walang audio? Meron ako dito. Hello, hello. May mic ako? May sound check. Sound check, meron na? Okay na? Okay. So, in other words, kung may trust agreement ka, hindi ba dapat yung trustee mo na ang nag-aayos ng lahat ng mga dokumento? Lahat ng mga affairs ng properties na yan? Pero bakit lumabas at inamin mo na January 2024 ay nagkaroon ng contract of lease to a certain Yuan Yun, diba? Wang Yun, yun yung Chinese na sinasabi di umano ng PAOK na yun ang tina-target nila actually dahil di umanong manager ng Lucky South 99. Hindi naman si Sun Linming eh. Kumbaga nadamay lang yun kasi hindi ko kasama. Pero ang target talaga ng PAOK ay yung yun one na kung sino yung pinaupa talaga nila. O, bakit ngayon kayo pa rin yung nagmamanage kung totoong pinasok nyo to sa trust agreement with Percival Ortega? Diba? So diba nakakataka, bakit kayo pa rin yung kumikilos? Bakit sinabi mo tumitira ka pa rin dun? Eh diba dapat minamanage na yan ng trustee mo? Pero lumilitaw sa iyong mga pinapalabas sa iyong video, sa iyong mga sa Facebook mo, na you're the one managing it. Ito pa ang tanong. Di ba ang sabi niya, yung auntie niya daw na hindi niya nabanggit ever sa Senado. Di ba? Yung auntie daw niya, binigay din yung trustee, nagkaroon din ng trust agreement with a certain Percival Ortega. Okay, sige na. Okay, sabihin natin. Pero bakit si Atty. Harry Roque pa rin ang busy sa pag-apply sa AFAB? Diba? Para doon sa BPO na balak nilang gawin. Eh di ba dapat yung trust, yung trustee nila ang nag-aayos dito? Dapat sitting pretty na sila. Oh, ngayon, tawag natin ha. So, ayan na. So, punta ngayon tayo dito sa video ni Congresswoman.
Correct.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And you
Yes.
confirm that Biancham currently owns 99.9% of PH2, and even in 2018 it was 95%, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
In fact, in 2018, you were a shareholder, the resource person was a shareholder of PH2.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And at one point, even the chairman and president of PH2.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And this attorney Ortega, who acquired, now owns 99% of Biancham, was also a shareholder of PH2, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
In fact, he was a director, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And you confirm that at one point, as stated in the 2022 GIS, a certain attorney Gonzalez became a shareholder of PH2 as well.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So these are the breakdowns of Biancham's incorporators in 2014, PH2 stockholders in 2018, and Biancham's first GIS and amended GIS in 2022. So essentially, in Biancham, in 2014, you owned 49.96%. In March 2020, you owned 98%, and just in 7 months, it was Attorney Ortega who owned 99% of Biancham.
By virtue of a trust agreement, Mr. Chair.
Currently, and PH2 stockholders in 2019, Biancham Trading owns 95%. This was in 2018 GIS as reflected. You own 1%. Attorney Ortega owns 1%. And Attorney Gonzalez later on owned stocks in PH2. Is this correct?
That is what the record says, Mr. Chair, yes.
So essentially, the shareholders of PH2 and Biancham are almost the same.
It is 100% owned, Mr. Chair, by Biancham, except for the nominal shareholders to complete the minimum of 5 incorporators and directors, which was then required by the Corporation Code.
So, ibig sabihin to, yung Biancham, literally, siya yung may-ari ng PH2. Yung PH2, siya yung nakatitle doon sa Tuba Benguet.
So the resource person is saying it's essentially owned, Mr. Chair. Let's just put that in record. Currently, Mr. Percival Ortega, as established earlier, has a 99% share in Biancham. So he's the current chairman and president. This is
He
correct.
holds almost all the shares now in trust in behalf of all the families subject to our settlement, Your
And
Honor.
one of the shareholders
Oh, di ba? Okay, subject to the settlement. He is also referring to the auntie. The settlement kasi pag mga ka-clear, pag sinabi yung settlement of estate, may namatay. Eh di ba sabi niya namatay auntie niya? Di ba? So in other words, pati itong Biancham, nilagay na sa trustee dahil yung auntie niya daw namatay. Pero wala sa records man lang ng SEC ever At hindi niya nabanggit ito sa Senado na yung auntie niya, iparte na ng Biancham. Kuha nyo? So, bakit na iba na yung kwento? Kasi ito hindi masyado nabusisi ito sa Senado. So sinabi na niya sa Biancham and everything at ang majority shareholder doon ay si Attorney Percival Ortega. Pero never niyang binanggit na trustee. At dito ngayon, binabanggit niya yung Biancham, pinasok na nga sa trustee dahil habang sinesettle yung estate. Estate nino, di nung auntie niya. Pero never naman naging party si auntie ng Biancham. Diba?
Holders is also a certain Attorney Butuyan.
Yes, he was my law partner for 30 years or so.
So you, Attorney Butuyan, and Attorney Ortega, what is your relationship with each other? Were you classmates, all partners?
Yes, we are all classmates, and that is why the family trusted Attorney Percival Ortega to take care of the interests of everyone.
Would you know if there are other companies wherein Attorney Ortega is the chairman and president of?
I know he sits in some other companies.
And who is reflective of the true beneficial owner of Biancham?
I'm sorry,
The
Mr. Chairman?
true and beneficial owner of Biancham?
Okay. Tandaan nyo ha, Biancham pinag-uusapan natin dito ha, beneficial owner. Sino na? Diba kasi lumalabas sa records na hindi niya binanggit sa Senado ang majority stakeholder o shareholder, itong si Percival Ortega. Never niyang binanggit ang trustee. So ngayon ang tanong, sino yung beneficial owner? Sino yung nakikinabang dyan sa Biancham? Na kung tutusin, from the start, 2014, ang may-ari niya, kayo lang mag-asawa. Kayo mag-asawa lang ni Myla. Bakit pumapasok yung pangalan ngayon ni auntie?
It is my family now. Actually, the biggest shareholder of Biancham now is my aunt, who invested the most in the real estate project in Bataan, Batasay.
So ano yung record? Mga ka-clear, ano yung record na magpapatunay na si auntie nag-infuse ng capital dito sa Biancham? Diba? Dapat may papakita siya paano siya maging majority shareholder. Hindi niya nababas yung pangalan ng auntie niya. Anong kapital ang pinasok niyan?
I said my aunt had just passed.
The biggest shareholder, even if
She is, because she invested the biggest amount of money in the real estate transaction.
So her name would be reflected on the beneficial owner form in the SEC documents?
Not yet, because in the beginning, she made me sign a loan agreement, and then later on, she changed her mind that it will be hers. She changes, so I just
Not
comply.
yet. So mean
So, di ba mga ka-clear? Very clear. Mga ka-clear. Very clear. Puro bibig lang. Puro kwento lang sinasabi ni Attorney Harry Roque. Okay, di ba? Sabi niya, ang pinakamalaking shareholder dyan, ngayon, yung estate ng auntie ko. Ang problema, namatay na siya eh. O di syempre, wala mapapatawag yung Senado, di ba? Ayaw nga niya ipatawag yung asawa niya. Yun yung request niya. Sino nga? Abante? Tama ba? Sino bang chairman dito? Okay? Basta kung sino man yung chairman dito sa Pogo, nag-contact siya. Yun yung sinabi ni chairman, ni Congressman Paduano, na ba't di ka man lang kumontak na hindi ka makakarating. Okay? Ang sabi niya, di ba? Ayaw niya sanang papunta yung asawa niya. Pinapa-excuse niya. Ngayon, yung auntie niya nang tinuturo niya, pero hindi na makakapagsalita si auntie eh. Patay na po si auntie. Diba? So ngayon, sige, ang beneficial owner niyan si auntie mo. Naka-record ba yan? Ay, hindi po naka-record. Kasi dapat papautangin niya ako eh. Kaya lang hindi natuloy. Kaya wala. So paano mo ngayon sasabihin na beneficial owner ang auntie mo kung yung transaction usapan nyo na magpapautang siya sa'yo, di naman natuloy. So technically, base sa records, si Percival Ortega ang lumalabas na may-ari when in fact may kasunduan kayo na kayo pa rin. Kaya tatandaan nyo dito sa Senado, sinabi niya, later, diba, parang later, in the future, I will acquire 100% of Biancham. Remember that? Wala akong interest ngayon kasi majority pa rin ay si attorney. Teka lang, tingnan natin ha. Try natin ulit ha. Pasok natin.
Dala kung sino pa yan, pero I think meron pang, well, minimum of 5 po yan eh. Pero majority shareholder
Alright.
is Attorney Percival Ortega.
Okay. So majority shareholder si Attorney Percival Ortega para sa Biancham Holding. There's at least one other attorney at tatlo pa
Yes.
for a
Opo,
total
opo.
of 5.
But I
Okay po.
confirm that we're in the process of buying into Biancham now.
All right.
And
And
we
sabi
want a
nyo nga,
controlling
you
interest.
want 100% ba or controlling
We will
lang?
have controlling interest of Biancham po pag natapos na ang mga papeles.
All
See, di ba? Yun talaga yun. Sila
You're the
naman talaga
beneficial owner.
may-ari. No? Di ba? Umikot lang yung papel eh. Bakit? Kasi tingin ko kasi, since siya ay parte na ng gobyerno at may niluluto siya magpagawa ng BPO, di ba? Kasi yung BPO, may sinabi siya dito eh. Okay, tingnan ko dito ha. May sinabi siya dito dati. Yan. Ang sabi niya dito, ito yung kanyang opinion na. A closer look at POGOs, are they really part of the BPO industry? According to Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque, POGOs can operate amid the pandemic as they are considered part of the business processing outsourcing industry. So parang similar sa tingin niya, di ba? At the same time, marami nagpe-pretend na BPO when in fact, POGO. Ito ha, pakita ko sa inyo yung news. POGO proposed as BPO, dupe local government PORACs execs. Ayan the POGO that was raided by the PAOK early this month had misled the government of Pampanga's PORAC town by first applying as BPO company in 2019. Diba? Maraming POGO ang nagpe-pretend na BPO. So ayoko naman sabihin na magpe-pretend si Atty. Harry Roque, but very clear dito sa news na nag-a-apply siya at binanggit niya yan sa Senado na nag-a-apply siya para sa BPO dito sa AFAB. Diba? Ang dami nga nagpe-pretend. Saka ito 2019 to nag-apply. So ibig sabihin kung 2020 nakikita niya na yung lago ng POGO. Gaano kumita ang POGO. Diba? Legal or illegal, basta kumikita ang POGO. At the same time, may isa siya, minsan in-interview siya. Ang sabi niya, ang POGO ang naging cash resource ni dating Pangulong Duterte. So, alam niya. Kaya pwede siya mag-business dito. Kaya, nung naulinigan niya, diba, may mga lupa sa Bataan. Meron sila doon, bumili daw yata sila. Yun. Kinakausap niya yung may-ari ng Whirlwind. Actually, hindi kinakausap yung may-ari. Si Cassandra lang kausap niya na magpasok na investment. Diba gusto niya maging investor to? For what? BPO. BPO na maybe it will turn into POGO. Kasi yung pinaplano nila style mukhang POGO hub ang dating. Mukha Yun lang naman ang pagtingin ko. Hindi ko naman sinasabing yun na nasa isip niya. Pero pwede. Diba? Ngayon, tuloy tayo.
In our trust
Yes or
agreement,
no lang, Mr. Chair?
no, Your Honor. Right now, the beneficial owner is still the estate of my aunt, who owns the biggest share in the land transaction in Bataan.
Mr. Chair, since the beneficial ownership form is submitted naman to the SEC, may we require that the beneficial ownership form be submitted to the committee?
I am not aware, Mr. Chair, if we submitted one, in fact.
See? Diba? Bibiglang sinasabi niya, wala siyang ibang dokumento. Mahirapan siya mag-prepare nito. Mahirapan siya mag-prepare ng ganitong klaseng dokumento. Diba? Nahuhuli na kasi siya. Diba? Nahuhuli siya na kaya niya magpalusot, pero pag papel na ang datingan, mahihirapan siya
Because it is just a trust agreement amongst family members.
This is a
This is just trust agreement between family members. So, dito para sa salita niya to, lumalabas, wala. Wala.
requirement under the SEC. You're a very competent lawyer. You're not aware, and were you not the president? So you do not know the submissions?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I'm not a specialist in corporation law. That's why I have to hire
But
other
you were the
lawyers.
former president and chairman of Biancham.
Yes, Mr.
And you
Chair,
were not aware
but
of the submissions?
it's a dormant company for all intents.
Okay, kung hindi ka expert, mga ka-clear, di ba bakit alam niya magpagawa ng subsidiary? Hindi basta-basta maggawa ng isang parent company, tapos magagawa ka ng iba-ibang klase ng subsidiary companies mo. So it means, alam niya yung ginagawa niya. Hindi pwede magmaamaangan si Atty. Harry Roque dito. In the first place, pera nila to. Millions pa nag-uusapan dito. Tapos all of a sudden, sabihin mo, hindi mo alam, tapos walang mga papel. Tapos anti mo ngayon ang beneficiary, patay na. Hindi mo nabanggit man lang ito sa Senado. Diba? At least si Percival Ortega nga nabanggit niya pa na major shareholder na ng Biancham. Pero never din niya binanggit na trustee to. Oh, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin.
and purposes. I am not a specialist in corporation law.
It's a dormant corporation right now. How so?
It's a holding corporation because it only owns title to raw land. It has no commercial activity other than holding title to raw land currently.
Uy, hindi naman totoo to. Na dormant. Teka lang, Biancham ni-ari nga ng PH2 eh. Yung PH2 nga pinaupahan niya doon kay Juan Yun. Di ba? So hindi active. Hindi siya dormant. So ang tanong natin, pinaupahan mo yan January 2024. You are into realty, sabi mo, di ba? Meron ba tong resibo? Lawyer ka, dapat may resibo yan. Kasi pinaupahan mo, income yan eh. So dapat yung income tax yan bayad. Di ba? VAT. VAT exempt ba yung PH2 mo? Ang daming pwedeng itanong pa dito na hindi talaga natanong eh. Okay?
So, Mr. Chair, may I move to get the beneficial ownership form if there is from the SEC or from Mr. Roque if he finds out.
Mr. Chair, I'm not aware I actually filed because this was 2020. But if we need to file belatedly, we will file belatedly.
Okay ha. Kaya kita-kita na sa bibig niya ha. Okay. Hindi niya natatandaan kung may final. So definitely wala. Definitely. Pero kung magpa-file siya belatedly, ibig sabihin magko-comply lang siya after siyang mabuko. Diba? After malaman na wala siya mga papel dito sa mga sinasabi niya mga defense. Yung mga depensa niya. Wala siyang papel. So, hindi, makikita eh. Kasi pinapasubmit ka, alam mo sa utak mo, wala. Kaya sabihin mo na hindi ko matanda ang meron. Pero magpa-file na lang kami kung dapat. Kahit late. Pero, paano mo ngayon kasi, that's the problem eh. How can you explain your wealth? Diba? Paano ka naka-acquire ng ito kalaking lupa sa Bataan, Mariveles? Diba? Paano kayo nakagastos? Diba? Para may initial kayo na 170 million plus. Saan nyo kinuha? Nadadami pa yung green miles dito, sa totoo lang. Yung kaibigan mo. Kasi hindi kayo nagpurso kasi hindi tinanggap ng whirlwind yung usapan nyo. Diba? Nagagawa ng BPO. Sige, tuloy.
But right now, I am not aware if we in fact filed that with the SEC in all honesty.
And earlier, the transfer of the shares of stock to Attorney Ortega was through what mode?
It is a trust agreement whereby he agreed to be a trustee for everyone in my family.
And you have a copy of that trust?
I committed to submit a copy already of the trust agreement.
And currently, are you in the process of buying back or any plans to buy back your shares in Biancham?
Yes, we are in the process of finalizing so that I can buy back shares not in Biancham anymore because pursuant to our reorganization, Your Honor, that is what I meant, Mr. Chair, that it has become too personal. It has nothing to do with Pogo, but I will continue. Pursuant to our plans, we are segregating now assets which my wife acquired during our marriage and assets which I co-own with my relatives, siblings, including my aunt. So we have formed a new company. It has.
Pero tandaan nyo ha, yung Biancham ha, hindi kasama ang pamilya ni Atty. Harry Roque doon. Auntie niya, hindi kasama. Very clear, 2014. Dalawa lang silang may-ari noon. Asawa niya at saka siya. Bakit ngayon nasasama na yung iba niyang pamilya? Yung auntie niya. Bakit? Diba?
Just been
Mr.
formed
Chair, I was just
recently.
simply asking if he's in the process of buying back shares in Biancham. I'm not asking for his history or what his plans in life.
We are in the process, Your Honor, of me relinquishing all shares to Biancham.
Okay. Can we move on to another subsidiary? Another subsidiary. First, Bataan Mariveles Holding Corp. In 2017, you were a stockholder of Biancham, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
In fact, you were the president, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And you were also a board member.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So you will be aware of the transactions entered into by Biancham, correct?
Not Biancham.
Sorry,
Are we talking of First Bataan,
First Bataan,
Mr.
First
Chair?
Bataan.
Yes,
First Bataan.
well, insofar as it is engaged in the land banking, yes, I was aware of the land banking activities of the company because that's the only thing it has been doing.
But as well,
Diba? Pero teka lang. 2020, pinasa mo na eh. Pinasa mo na kay Percival Ortega. Nagkaroon na kayo ng trust agreement. Bakit napaka-active mo pa? Di ba? Bakit napaka-active mo pa? Wala ka na, actually, wala ka nang share lumalabas doon sa Biancham. Di ba? Pati din sa First Bataan. Pero bakit active? Yun lang naman tanong natin, bakit active ka? Samantalang dapat ito, na kay Percival Ortega na.
As the Biancham activity, since you were also the president during that time?
There was no commercial activity, Mr. Chair, for Biancham because Biancham merely invested in the land banking activity of First Bataan because the family investment is under the name of Biancham in First Bataan.
O, naging family investment na. Di ba kayo nagtataka doon? Sabi ko, dati hindi ito nabanggit ni Atty. Harry Roque sa Senado. Wala ito. Never niya binanggit to.
So this investment that you're stating in 2017, is that the reason why there was a subscribed and paid share of 35,347 shares in the amount of 35,347,000?
Yes, Mr. Chair, that was the initial capital contribution of my family in the land banking activity.
And in the AFS in 2017 of Bianchan, there's a net loss of 254,347 with assets of 1.5 billion in cash with no liabilities. So paano nagkaroon ng purchase?
Ayun.
It was in the form of, as I mentioned earlier, in the beginning, my aunt treated it as an extension of a loan. So it was an advance from my aunt, which I thought would redound already to my name. But in the end, she said, no, until you actually pay me, it will still be mine. So
Mr. Chair.
these were in the forms of cash advances to purchase the land.
Mr. Chair, maybe may I move that we get a copy of this loan agreement because we are
Oh.
circling back to this loan from the aunt, which, well, she's not here anymore.
She's not here anymore.
She has passed,
And-
so we cannot obviously ask
and
questions.
the loan was not in writing, but it
Oh, millions to ha. Makaka-clear. Millions to. Tapos wala pa rin isang dokumento. Ang dali kasi magsalita. Pinuutang ako ng kamag-anak ko, nagbenta yung kamag-anak ko. Napakadali. Diba? Pero what's the proof? Kahit sinasabi natin dito, unexplained wealth. Kahit sabihin mo yan, pinuutang ako, meron kaming usapan, but the mere fact na wala kang dokumento with such huge amount of money na ilo-loan, ibibigay sa'yo, idodonate sa'yo, ilo-loan sa'yo. Hindi mo mapuprove yung saan mo galing mga pera mo.
was recognized in my SALN as an obligation to
How
my aunt.
convenient that the loan was not in writing, Mr. Chair, and going back to a loan agreement, and we can't even know if their loan agreement really did exist between two persons when the other person is not here. So we're just going to rely, basically, on a loan agreement. Your state.
Alam mo, kahit isulat niya sa SALN yan, ang tanong pa rin is saan galing? Ay mo, lagay mo na, pinaloan ka ng 50 billion. Saan galing? Kasi siyempre nalagay mo sa 50 billion, nandun na sa SALN mo, net worth mo na, parte na yung assets mo. Saan galing? Pinautang ako na auntie ko eh. Gano'n ka ba kayaman si auntie? Hindi ba magsiselos yung ibang mga pamangkin? Pinautang ka ng ganyan? Tapos asset mo na? O, tapos wala kayong papel? Hindi kaya delikado siya dito kung lumabas ito, tapos singilin siya ng mga ibang pinsan niya kasi, oy, dapat natin i-settle lahat ng mga utang mo kay auntie. O, utang mo pala lahat yan kay auntie, dapat share tayo dyan. O, ang dami niya mga admissions dito, pwede magamit sa kanyan. During doon sa tawag dito, probation. Magkakaroon ng ng estate. Diba? Kasi isi-settle yung estate o alamin kung may advance ka ba kay auntie. Ano na nangyari doon? Pangangatawanan niya yan.
Going back to this, by your own word.
Well, Mr. Chair, I guess we go back again to the sale of our real estate property in 2017 and the fact that we started investing in Bataan in 2018. So it was really in conforme with instructions of my grandfather, when you sell some of my land, you buy new land.
Well, still, yung probate ng auntie mo, probate ng will, patunayan mo yan.
Mr. Chair, so we go back to this
Banda
whole
naman
thing.
salita ng utang.
We'll just look at Biancham being a stockholder again of FBMHC First Bataan. And alarmingly, this was valued at, it was paid at 35 million. And at this time in 2017, what was your job at that time? If you can repeat.
I was president.
Dada natin yan.
Ay, sorry.
Okay.
And the
So anyway, ito. Itong gusto ko. Malapit na tayo eh. Ito ang papakita ko sa inyo ha. Para mas maging clear. Okay na tayo kay Percival Ortega. Sabi niya, trustee niya, never niya binanggit sa Senado, but still, sabi niya, yung Biancham, kukunin niya pa rin 100% ang ownership. Tandaan natin, trustee si Percival, pero si Atty. Harry Roque pa rin at yung asawa niya ang active sa HOA. Nabanggitan natin yan. At the same time, sila nagpaupa kay Juan Yun, siya nakapirma sa contract of lease. Well, in fact, kung wala ka ng shares dito na inilipat mo kay Percival Ortega through a trust agreement, dapat di ka na kumikilos. Wala na kayo dapat say dyan. So tingin ko, ito, ang dating is dokumento lang. Okay, next. Ayan, ito nabanggitan natin dito ha. In-explain na natin yan. Yung kay Percival, bakit 99% trust agreement na sinabi niya noon na hindi niya parang family affair lang, pero ngayon magbibigay daw siya ng trust agreement. Tingnan natin. O, ito ngayon, di ba? Lumalabas dito, yung Biancham, ang may-ari ng PH1. Ito yung property na ipinaupa doon sa Chinese na si Yun Huan. Okay, di ba sinabi niya, na-meet niya pa to abroad. Ito si Yuan Yun. Na ito yung tinatarget ng PAOK. Hindi si Sun Liming, hindi yan. Si Yuan Yun, yung kausap niya, Juan Yun ang tinatarget ng PAOK. Okay, itong First Bataan Maribeles, okay. O, nagkaroon na purchases of land, di ba? In Maribeles. Pero pag-aari pa rito ng Biancham, pero never in a record will show na party si auntie. Di ba? Wala tayong mapakita, wala siyang mapakita so far. But even in Biancham, wala siyang mapakita. Sana mapakita niya. Okay, next. Ito. Kung pansinin niyo, kita niyo ba? Ito kasi, the poorest, gusto ko lang makapakita kung saan nakuha yung property ni Atty. Harry Roque. Dito, pinapakita dito, okay? Lakyan nga natin. Okay. Na yung pag-aari ni Atty. Harry Roque as of, this is 2019, ang net worth niya is 98 million, ayan na, 873 pesos. 873 pesos. Okay, nagkaroon siyang ad spend. Gumastos siya ng 2018 to 2019 ng 174 million. Now, ang net worth niya, siyempre, minus siya nagastos niya, nag-negative siya ng 75 million. Negative ha? Negative. Lumalabas. Ito ha? Ito ay report. Okay? Report yan. So next, tandaan nyo ha? Negative na siya. Ang net worth niya minus ad spend. Ito na lang. Negative 75 million. Anong sabi? Kapag ganyan daw, ang sabi, okay, the possible sources of those millions of pesos poured in pre-campaign ads include hidden or unexplained wealth, public funds, and even indirect bribery from private donors. Findings ito ha, ito yung kanyang sinulat ito ni Ma'am Malu Mangahas, February 13, 2019. Kasi nga, bakit ang laki ng iyong ad spend, ito lang naman ang asset mo, mas malaki pa yung nagastos mo kaysa asset mo. Tandaan natin, 2018, 2019 yan, ang pera niya, balikan natin ha, ang pera niya, negative 75 million ha. Ito ay base ha, sa records. Okay. Base ito sa sinulat ni Ma'am Malu Mangahas. Now, balikan natin yan ha. Negative 74 siya, 2018 to 2019. Pero, noong 2020, report SALN. Siyempre, kung sino mayayamang membro ng kabinete. Bigla, 2020, net worth niya, 119,983,140. Saan to nanggaling? Kung nag-negative siya dyan. So siguro, tingin ko, di naman natin siya pinagbibintangan, pero siguro dapat mai-explain niya itong mabuti. Ang problema dito, baka sabihin niya, pinautang ito nung auntie niya. Utang na naman mula kay auntie na inisip niya kanya. So, 119 million to ha. 983,140. Next. 100 ha. Ulit. 919 million. Okay. So, noong 2022, so may 919 siya noong 2020 ha. Okay. Nag-donate siya kay VP Sara noong 2022 ng 36 million pesos for ad payments. Ha? Nag-donate pa siya niyan. Ibig sabihin, binayad ng cash yan doon sa kung sino mang network yan o sino mang mga pwedeng pagbayaran ng ad payments. Donor siya ni VP Sara. O, pakinggan natin to. Ha? Pakinggan natin to.
in Congress. People forget that.
Yes, that's true. Because of course, because everyone really, we were very visible as presidential
Yes,
spokesperson.
people forget that I was a
Yes,
member
you
of
were also
Congress when
a
I was
representative in
pirated
Congress.
by the president. No, I really don't know.
Oh, tugalong, hindi naman talaga siya actually pinirate. Sinipa nga siya ng Kabayan Party List. So siguro naawa si Senator, si dating Pangulong Duterte, mag-spokesperson ka na lang. Pero sinipa siya talaga. Hindi naman siya na-pirate sa Kongreso. Sinipa siya ng Kabayan Party List.
Why? Senate is out. I lost because I did not have sufficient money. That's a realization. People do not run unless you can spare $500 million.
Ay, sorry.
No matter
Ulit natin, ulit.
More about
Ulit natin,
in
ulit.
the public mind. No? I'm not sure I will be effective in Congress either.
Ay, wait lang.
Why? Senate is out. I lost because I did not have sufficient money. That's a realization. People do not run unless you can spare $500 million.
Oh, paano ka mawawala ng pondo or not enough or sufficient funds kung nakapag-donate ka pa kay VP Sara ng 36 million pesos? Di ba nakakataka yun? Ngayon nagrereklamo ka na hindi ka nanalo kasi wala ka sufficient funds. Bakit mo pa nagawang mag-donate ng 36 million pesos kay VP Sara kung ang idinadaing mo na hindi ka nanalo kasi wala kang sapat na pondo? So ang tanong natin, saan mo nakuha yung 36 million pesos na sana ay ginamit mo na sa pangangampanya para manalo ka? At sana ginamit mo na sa sarili mong ads. Ba't kailangan ka mag-donate? Parang ang dami naman nag-donate kay VP Sara, ba't kailangan ka pa mag-donate? Totoo ba? Naggaling sa bulsa mo yung 36 million pesos na yon? O ginamit lang yung pangalan mo? Kasi, pag di mo to na-explain mabuti, hahanapan ka talaga dito kung saan mo nakuha yung mga pera mo nung panahon ng 2022. O lalo na yan, nakilala mo. Well, ang sabi naman niya kasi, nakilala niya ang whirlwind after siyang maging spokesperson. Pero, as early as 2020, diba, nabalita na yun sa bilyonaryo. Tandaan nyo. As early as 2020, okay, nabalita na itong sa bilyonaryo. Saan ka na? Diba? This is 2020, nakikipag-deal ka na sa AFAB. Meron ka ng balak. So, pwede ba nating sabihin wala ka pang kakilala ng mga taga-Pogo at that time? Sabi natin, expose ka sa mga Pogo. Dahil nga, ito ay cash resource ni dating Pangulong Duterte. At yun ay inamin mo. So, yun lang. Mga ka-clear. Diba? Dapat lahat ng halos ang sinagot niya dito sa hearing sa Quadcom, hindi niya yan nabanggit sa Senado. Marami siyang input, marami siyang bagong facts na never niya nabanggit kay Senator Risa Ontiveros. Especially the rich auntie na nagpautang sa kanya di umano pero binawi.